Alright guys, so today I'm making a video on the wonderful world that is the secondary knife market. I made another video on retailers and places to buy new knives from. But let's say you have new knives and maybe you don't want them anymore, or you need money to fund other new knives. Well, where do you sell them and where do you buy? A lot of guys don't even use knives. Like this Holt, used to be the king of, and still is one of the kings of, secondary market only, because you can't buy these new, they don't make them anymore. And actually, that's why I brought it for this video, just to have as a background in between, showing pages and whatever else. This is the king of secondary. Like this knife, you can't buy new from the maker. So where do you buy knives that are hard to find, like this, Koenig, sometimes, the higher end Koenigs, JG Scouts, all kinds of hard to find knives, Oz's, whatever. My most experience has been on Reddit, particularly r/knife_swap. That place, I think they might be up to 70,000 members now. That's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, knife trading place in the secondary world. Highly recommend using Reddit Knife Swap. There's another page called EDC_exchange, I believe. I've bought a few things on there, but I've never sold anything on there that I know of. That's more for flashlights and lanyards and other stuff in the EDC world that's just not knives. I mean, they sell knives on there, but it's mainly other stuff, Nux, whatever. Highly recommend those two places, mainly Knife Swap, because they have a flare system. Basically, you sell a knife, the new buyer, or the buyer gets the knife, he confirms, hey, yes, this is the knife. Like if I sold this, let's say I sold it to Timmy gets the knife, everything works out great. Timmy has a system, they have a system where Timmy says, yes, I bought this knife, I got it, everything's good, confirm. And then now I get one new swap confirmed. Now I have one new swap, and next to my name, in case someone ever wants to buy something from me, it says, hey, this guy has this many confirmed swaps. I think I have maybe like 120, 150, something like that, confirmed on Reddit. So it has a kind of a feedback, trust system. If I see someone that's got 500 swaps, I know I can probably trust them with my money. And we'll dive into that real quick. If you're on something other than Reddit, something that doesn't have a flare system like Facebook, ask for vouchers, especially if you're buying a knife that's, $1,000. This knife right here, they go for $2,000 plus. I'm not going to buy this from some random dude off Facebook I don't know. Like, if I don't know them, I haven't done a bunch of dealings with them, ask for vouchers. Ask, hey, here's this person, they're selling this knife, have you done, deals with them? Have they gone well? Have they gone bad? This and that. Ask for vouchers, whether it's in Facebook or Instagram, whatever. Also, your method of payment matters. So everybody used to on Reddit only use PayPal goods and services, but now goods and services, there's a lot of tax deals. So now everybody uses friends and family. If you have a certain amount of flare, 25 and up, confirmed swaps. But my preferred anymore go-to is definitely Zelle, just because it works directly with my bank and it does a lot. It's basically a wire transfer. Zelle's really good. But yeah, you can use Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, all the different various ones. Goods and services is still good, but now you have to deal with taxes. And even then, sometimes people have had, deals go bad, and rather than them getting their money, PayPal actually doesn't like knives. They see them as weapons, just like guns, and they will ban your account. I've had tons and tons of friends had their account banned by PayPal for quote-unquote selling weapons. So payment choices, you got to pick and choose what you want to do. Ask for vouchers. And then also, if you're doing trading, I never liked the idea of trading. I've made probably 10 trades ever, full-on knife for knife. I actually had a V4 Spectre carbon before that I traded for 2 other Spectres. I've had that one. Trading is even bigger than vouchers in my opinion, because not only sending money, you can lose money. But if you're trading, like if I traded this is like a 1 of 5 Holt. Okay, if I traded this, not only am I losing the $2,200 or whatever I paid for this, I'm losing a knife that I can't just go buy back easily. If you're trading high-end knives that are super rare, you're not only losing money, you're losing the knife that's hard to get. So trading, be even more careful, in my opinion, than just trading or dealing with vouchers, or than just cash. God, I can't speak. So cash. Trading is definitely more dangerous than cash, in my opinion. So get even more vouchers. If it's some random person or someone that you don't know personally too well. Yeah, so back on the places to get stuff. Reddit, definitely recommend. Buying and selling, fantastic place. Everybody, for the most part, super nice there. They have a really good system in place, and it works well. You got a lot of eyes on your stuff, too. I mean, 70,000 members. There's almost always 600-700 people online at any given point. So if you have a good enough deal, you're going to sell it on Reddit. And there's a lot of Knife Bro prices on Reddit. If you guys know who Blade Runner 203 is, he's one of my good friends on Instagram and Reddit. Every once in a while, dude, he's doing a collection sale. He's selling 4 Crewwear PM2s for $200. He's trying to get them things out of there, 300, whatever, he's selling them for. A lot of good deals happen on Reddit. My second favorite place has quickly become Instagram. I have, I don't know, like 1,000, maybe 1,200 followers on Instagram. So usually I'll just post stuff to my story, and I get a lot of stuff sold through there. If you get a lot of followers on Instagram, even though mine's not a ton, you can get a lot of traction on there trying to sell stuff. There's also a place called Knives on the Secondary. It's a page, Knives on the Secondary. Basically, I tag him in any knife post I do, and he reposts it. And it's kind of like a market watch for secondary knives, a lot of high-end stuff and whatever else. That guy's super cool. Knives on the Secondary, highly recommend. Post him in anything you're selling and he'll repost it. He might not get to it right away, but usually he reposts pretty quick. There's a few other places on Instagram. I think there's a new one called Knives Sale, NAFS Sale Official. They seem to be doing well. I've seen them post on Instagram. I've never used them, so trade at your own risk on there. Don't know anything about them, but I noticed they seem to be getting popular on Instagram. And then one more kind of side note, not directly related to selling, is Instagram has a lot of lottos for certain makers, like Oz. Not Oz. Oz will post Daniel Oz will post when he's going to drop stuff on his website. But like for example, JG, all his book spots are done on Instagram via lotto. Like a lot of high-end makers do their stuff on Instagram via lotto. So if you're trying to get hard to find stuff like a JG Scout 2.0, like trying to get on a build list, you have to be on Instagram. This also applies for Facebook, which we'll talk about next. All the Holts, for example, they used to do everything on Instagram. Now they do everything on Facebook. Everything is exclusively through Facebook. So if you want to enter in lottos and stuff to get these hard to find knives, you got to be on Facebook. Sucks. I don't love Facebook, but it is what it is in the knife world. So yeah, we'll go into Facebook. Facebook groups for lottos and stuff are fantastic. If you want to be in the Holt group or, the Oz group or whatever group, Shark Knife Co. group, get a lot of lottos. Utzler, the Duck and Duckling, those guys are on Facebook. But the other deal is Facebook groups, just trading groups in general. A few that come to mind are the Oz buy-sell trade, the Holt buy-sell trade, which there's a few of them. There's one for Koenig. There's one for CRK, Chris Reeve. There's a few for Chris Reeve, but one's a lot bigger than the other. And then another really big one that's kind of general for a lot of EDC stuff is the Millie PM2 Para 3 Club. If you guys know Thomas and Jason, those guys are super cool. I think that group's got like 20,000 plus members. If you're into Spydercos or just a lot of production knives, that's probably your number one place on Facebook as far as finding those. They used to do, I don't know if they do it anymore, they used to do every day they would do a buy-sell or buy-sell trade thread, want to buy, want to sell thread. And it would be popping in there. Have like 400 or 500 comments. So that place is really good to find production stuff, some custom stuff. More custom stuff, there's a place called Killer Customs and Mantic Midtex. I think I'm saying that right. That place has a lot of high-end customs, one-off pieces, $4,000 or $5,000 sometimes. You see Holts and stuff in there too. And the last one I'll talk about is going to be knife trading, sales, and feedback. I guess there's two, EDC Go and No Go. Both of those guys, they have a lot of various things, talking about vouchers again, EDC Go and No Go, who can be trusted and who can't be trusted. The knife trading, sales, and feedback is kind of a similar thing, but they also have just, a general bunch of sales, but a lot of feedback stuff there too. Hey, I got scammed by this guy. Hey, I didn't get scammed by this guy, whatever. Another one you can go to, just place to go to in general is Bladeforums. This used to be really popular, and maybe it still is. I personally have never used Bladeforums, but I know a ton of people have, and a ton of people probably still do. This is one you go at your own risk, not on my recommendation, just because I have no experience with it. You know, I grew up and my dad was always on trading forums, and maybe not, you know, not for knives, but for car stuff. Forums are still a big deal. I use Reddit as my forums now, but I heard Bladeforums used to be really big. It probably still is. So Bladeforums is a good place if you're trying to buy or sell stuff. Last place I'll talk about is Discord groups. I always used Discord for video games and still do, but it's become popular in a lot of niche worlds. Like, I'm into mechanical keyboards. There's Discord groups for days, weeks, and years for mechanical keyboards, as well as there's Discord groups for EDC stuff. The two that I'm in, one of them is the Best Damn EDC Discord. If you guys know who Best Damn EDC is, which I'm sure if you're watching this video, you do. He has a Discord with a classified section. A lot of stuff for sale in there. And then the other one that I'm in is the Knife Club, r/Knife Club, which is a Reddit subreddit. They have a Discord group. A lot of stuff for sale in there. And there's other ones. Metal Complex has got his Discord group where people sell in... you know, any knife page or knife group on Discord will have, you know, stuff for sale. So all those various ones, a lot of Discord groups. So definitely my favorites on this entire list I have is going to be Reddit and Instagram. Those are my two favorites. Facebook's okay too. I've sold a decent amount of stuff through Facebook, mainly production stuff, you know, ZTs and whatever else. I have sold a few custom pieces, a few Koenigs, Oz, you know, whatever else. That's a good place if you are trying to trade, like maker to maker or maker for maker. For example, my Oz that I have, I traded it on Facebook to another guy in the Oz group. You know, you got to understand, you know, it makes perfect sense. Holt guys are all going to be together in a Holt group. So if you have a Holt that you want, it's probably in there. And if you have a Holt they want, you know, you get it. Okay. So all the big boy specs are all in those groups. You know, Koenig guys are insane. If you ever want to see a collection of Koenigs, go to the Koenig groups and you're going to be heartbroken at how much money you don't have, because those guys are crazy collections in there. Yeah, so the secondary market can be fantastic. It can be awful. You know, there's guys getting scammed all the time. Be smart. Get a timestamp. You know, that's one thing I like about Reddit. It's timestamp. Hey, this is my username. This is the date. Here's the knife. Yes, I have it. You know, people can fake those, but it's a lot harder. You know, most of them are pen and paper, or some guys write them on a knife. You know, I've seen a guy who used to use a Sabenza for his timestamp. You know, he would Sharpie his name, time and date, or whatever on it every time. That was always funny. But yeah, get a timestamp. Make sure the person has it. Get vouches. Use a payment method you trust. And yeah, you can buy and sell a lot of stuff and not lose a ton of money on the secondary. You know, if you're buying right, you know, I've bought spider monkeys, Southern Gray spider monkeys for like $120 on the secondary. And then, you know, you have them, you use them, you test them out. Maybe you get bored of them, you sell them for 120, 130, and you don't lose any money. Whereas if I bought that knife brand new, it was maybe at the time 220, and then I sell it secondary for 120. I've lost $100 in my knife budget for, you know, the month or whatever. So if you want to go through a ton of different knives, secondary is the way to go. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I think that's all my real big points on secondary market. Definitely make sure you trust somebody, payment method you trust, and have fun trading knives, because it's fun. I've had like over 300, and as you guys have seen in my knife collection video, I don't have a ton left. I've kind of went through everything, and secondary market is a fun place to be on, and you'll meet a lot of knife people on there that are super cool and become friends. I've got a lot of friends that I've met on the secondary market that are probably lifelong friends. And super cool. My buddy Sterling I mentioned all the time, I met that guy buying a spider monkey off Reddit. It just so happened he lived 20 minutes away from me, and we were both into cars, games, knives, everything. And that dude's one of my best friends, and that was a random Reddit deal. So yeah, that's enough rambling. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.